Chrissy Freud, USA Today. I was going to ask you, what do you feel like you bring to the table from a tangibles and intangibles perspective heading into this season?
I would say, of course, my versatility on the football field, whether I can run or I can pass the ball, but just to be able to move the chains no matter what the defense is, what the defense is looking or showing. But especially off the field, I feel like one of the most important things is just to be a leader and just to just be that glue guy, whether it's O-line or whether that's receivers, offense, defense, just being that glue guy to bond and build that chemistry with my teammates. So.
Left side, back row.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Last year, you were new to the team, trying to win the job and win over the locker room. Does it feel more like your team? What's different about this offseason, your second one with Arkansas?
I would say just like media day, just more comfortable, knowing what to expect, and knowing what I have to get better at. And now I got the film to look at from last year. Not just looking at installed tapes of course, Lamar Jackson and the past quarterbacks that's been here, that's ran Coach Petrino's offense. But I feel like just knowing what to expect. But of course, it's a new year, and there's going to be new defenses and new players. But have an idea of it though.
Right hand side.
What lessons from last year do you think you are using to approach this season and kind of replicate or do better with your stats?
I would say first, take care of my body. My body is my business, and I know I hear that a lot, but I had a first-hand experience. Last year I was a little banged up, but I have a great strength staff with Coach Souders and his strength staff, and a great athletic trainer staff. Shout out to them, and Vince, Paulina, shout out to y'all. But just get me right, and they have me stretching, rolling out, and do the things I have to do. And I would say that's the most important thing, is just take care of my body, whether that's physically or mentally. To be prepared not just for practice, but for the game. Everybody knows SEC is physical, but I heard it all last year. But I actually got to experience it. It's really a beat down, but it gets you ready for the league, and that's what the league is about.
Left side, back row.
How has playing for Coach Petrino changed how you view the game or your position? Any lessons you can think of that you've taken from Coach?
I'll say two biggest things of how he comes to work every single day, no matter what he's going through, no matter if he got a little bit of sleep or a lot of sleep, he's gonna bring it every single day. And knowing how the game is, is the defense playing amazing? Is the defense not like just controlling? Do I got to control the ball? Do I got to run it more? Just knowing how the opposing defense is also playing. So just being also I would say before, Coach Petrino, I would just play the game. Just play, get a first down, try to score. But knowing the intricate details of what specifically is the defensive coordinator's game plan and how are we going to combat that. And, Coach Petrino, Coach Petrino knows, but also at the same time, I have to know that too, because I'm the one, playing, and we have to be on the same page with that.
Left side, third row.
You had mentioned Lamar Jackson. What do you feel like you take away from his game, and are there any other quarterbacks you model yourself after or would compare yourself to?
I feel like everybody, sees what he did at Louisville with his running ability and passing ability. But I say his feel of the game is what what jumps off the page when I watch his tape. He's not just robotic of one read, two read, three read. He's gonna read the whole defense, and if somebody, it might not be in we call it true or pure progression, and if he's open, he's gonna throw it. So not just being robotic and in his play, that's what Coach Petrino says a lot. Don't be robotic, be fluid, trust your instincts, and that's what I love about watching Lamar, but also a couple guys that I model my game after. I'm not from, but I went to Allen, Texas, and been training with Kyler Murray's dad for a long time. So Kyler Murray growing up, what he did in high school was, insane. But also Josh Allen, his big frame and how he uses his body, he be trucking dudes too. So I got to get that up.
Right side, third row.
Harrison Reno, UGA Sports. Downstairs, Coach Pittman talked about the importance of the rivalry versus Texas versus the rivalry versus Texas A&M. You're a Texas native. What would a win over one of those two programs, potentially a top 15, top 10 program, mean for not only the program, but for you personally?
I mean, for me personally, honestly, it's good, but it's not really about me. That hog, behind me is, what I do it for. The pride that I have, just being, wearing that hog on the side of my helmet or in the front of my chest, and doing it for the state because I know what it means to them, and just embracing that culture that we have here. So.
Left side, back row.
Your teammate Cameron was in here a little bit earlier, and he talked about he had some very nice things to say about you, and he also talked about the energy that the team gets from Travis Williams. So I know it's the other side of the ball, but your interactions with Coach Travis and what he brings to the table.
I would say one word: energy. His energy will trickle down to everybody on that defense, even offense. You see, it could be, fall camp is long. It could be practice 13, 14, and he's still jumping around, running around like T will be going like that and stuff. But when we hear the defense, making loud noise and, jumping around and, playing like as an offense, we're like, okay, we got to come to play today, especially what I love about our practices is it's competitive, There's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser that day. And offensively, speaking for, offense, we don't want to be on the losing side. And that's what, I love about the practices, and this team is, real competitive.
Right side, back row.
How does the experience that you have coming from Boise State and now going into your second year at Arkansas, how does that contribute on the field and playing into some of the most hostile environments in the SEC and your second year with another top 5 hardest schedule in the country?
That's a really good question. I would say I'm glad and I'm appreciative of my time in Boise because it has kind of a similar feel to Fayetteville, and the SEC, not SEC, but it's the only team in town. So when you walk around, they're gonna know your name. They're gonna do take a picture, stuff like that. But applying what I learned there, to here, just being the most prepared person on that field, whether it's a new install, staying up late to study it, and that's what I learned the biggest in Boise. Like I knew my process, I knew how I did what, like some people's flashcards, like I'll write on the whiteboard, I'll write on the tablet and just do it. I'm just a repetitive learner. I'm a visual learner. I'll do walkthroughs. I'll do all that. So I say my preparation from Boise to Arkansas has been the biggest thing.
Left side, third row.
What do you feel like your best attribute is as a quarterback, and how would you describe your responsibilities at the line heading into this season?
My best attributes, I would say similar, versatility, just doing whatever it takes to move the ball. Like I said, Josh Allen, he gon' try to truck somebody, I'm getting some weight up so I could do that. But just doing whatever it takes to win, if that's checking the ball down, throwing it deep, getting dirty, just doing whatever it takes. And what was the second part of it? Oh yeah, Coach Petrino gives me full, reign of checking the play or changing the protection, and he gives me, the keys to the car, as some would say, and that's what I'm grateful to have. He doesn't put me in no box, and he doesn't want me to be robotic, So it's a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, that's what I signed up for, and as he says, it's an occupational hazard. So.
Final question right here in the middle.
Taylen, we didn't get into this in the other room, but of course everybody's looking at you as a leader of the team, as the returning quarterback. What's different about you as a leader now, maybe than this time last year? Kind of what are you taking on in leadership?
I feel like last year, since I didn't play, I was more lead by example type of person. But at the same time, what I've learned from last year to this year, like being more vocal. Of course, lead by example, but being more vocal, especially in the huddle or especially on the sideline, like when my team needs a spark of energy or a spark of words, like I need to be that fuel to the fire, and just being real intentional and holding everybody accountable, whether it's in practice or in the game. So.
Oh man, I'm blessed. First of all, I want to give all the glory to God, man, and rest in peace to my father, the one and only Iceman. Passed away about a month ago, and he told me how he doesn't care how he gets here, whether he be pushed in a wheelchair or drugged here. He just wants to be here, and I know God called him home, and he's not here in the flesh anymore, but I have him right here on my chest. So whenever anybody talks to me, they'll see him.
What are your favorite memories of your father?
Just him being my coach in general, all the life lessons he taught me. My father was more so like my best friend. I didn't really look at it like a father-son relationship. So just out in the backyard, barbecues, shooting basketball, playing horse with him, pickup games, and all the life lessons, man. I was blessed to have 22 years of a great father figure in my life.
That's wonderful. Okay, we'll open it up to questions. We'll start over here on the left-hand side.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. What can you say about playing for Coach Pittman? And it seems like as a guy on the line of scrimmage, you might be his kind of guy.
Coach Pittman, man, he's a great guy, man. Before a coach, I've known Coach Pittman since the 8th grade. He was recruiting me at Georgia, and when he got to Arkansas, I told him, I was like, Coach, I can see myself playing there because I didn't want to stay here. I wanted to go out and experience life on my own, and Coach Pittman, he blessed me with the opportunity to be a Razorback. So I'm forever grateful for him, and he's a hard-nosed coach, man, but he's gonna love on you the same amount he gets on you. So Coach Pittman is a great guy.
Go on the right side in the back row.
Now going into your 4th season at Arkansas, how do you prepare for games in the tunnel before you take the field?
Man, my main thing is, first of all, give all the glory and honor to Jesus Christ. Make sure I talk to him, pray, just remember my notes, my plays, and just take it one play at a time and one game at a time. I just prepare for every single game as if it was the game for last week. It really doesn't matter who the opponent is or anything. Just take it one play at a time.
Go back on the left-hand side.
What can you say about the way Taylen won over the team in the locker room last year, and what's different now that he's in his 2nd year with the team?
Taylen, man, he's just a great God-fearing man. Even better person rather than player. We follow Taylen however he wants to lead. We believe whatever Taylen says, and he's more of a doer than a talker. Taylen has become more vocal than he was last year, and his play just really talks for himself. And I'm excited to see what he can do year 2 under Bobby Petrino.
Go to the right-hand side here.
Last season, you started all 13 games and registered a career-high 47 tackles. Mm-hmm. What have you done during the offseason to almost replicate or beat that success that you had?
So last season, I mainly did all that with like a little arm. I had an arm injury. I'm coming off of surgery, but I'm healthy, I'm cleared, I'm ready, I'm eager, and I'm hungry to go. Man, really, I'm just preparing as if I did last year, I know this is my last year, and I got to give it my all, and it's a little more motivation now with my father, so it's really not much to be said other than I'm doing this for him, and I'm excited, man, and I'm ready. I'm getting goosebumps talking to you about it now.
Left-hand side.
You mentioned Coach Pittman being a hard-nosed guy. Would you describe Taylen the same way? And what does it mean as a line of scrimmage player to see your quarterback mix it up and make some physical hits himself?
Man, Taylen is an outgoing guy. Taylen has his spurts, of where he can get on guys and get on his offensive line and get on players. But more so, Taylen be chilling, to be honest, man. He stays to himself, and he's just an all-around good, cool, calm, and collective guy. And if you get on his bad side, that's one thing else now. But Taylen he's a great player, great person.
Right side, in the back.
Arkansas is projected to have the 4th hardest schedule in the entire country. And how are your fellow teammates, coaches, how are they preparing for what was a difficult schedule last year and now having many of those games flipped to road games? How are y'all preparing for that?
Man, this is my 5th year, and I can't say throughout all my time of being in Arkansas, we had to be like top 5 of having the toughest schedules. So, man, to be honest, and it's a little motivation too at the same time, but we just practice, and practice. We try to make our practices hard so the game can be easy, and we just take every game at a time. Whether we're playing the #1 team or a ranked team, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna take it and use it how we do.
Left side.
Cam, you're up there representing the front 7. What can you say about the rest of the guys in that unit and anybody that maybe could break through with the work they've put in?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited about our defensive line room this year. We lost key guys last year, Landon Jackson, off to do big things, and Eric Gregory, Kiwi Rose, Anton Junkaj. But we got a lot of guys out the portal that I'm really, pumped about, whether it be Justice Boone, David Oki, Ken Talley, Philip Lee. And we also have a bunch of young, hungry guys that's ready and waited their turn. And I'm excited, man. We have a great coach, Coach Deke Adams. He's very good at developing guys, and he developed me. And we also have a great addition now with Coach Wilson, and also have Coach Hop as well. So it's going to be a great year, man. And, I know we have a lot of naysayers and haters and stuff of that nature, but we're just going to take it one practice at a time, one play at a time.
Right side.
Going back to this year's schedule, is there a specific SEC team or rivalry that you are most looking forward to?
Man, I treat every game like it's the same, I don't really have a personal vendetta with anybody. I'm just excited to just lace my cleats up every week for 12 weeks straight and play whoever steps in front of us, man.
Left side.
What can you say about Travis's energy? Coach Jackson. I mean, it's Travis Williams. I mean, he's a former Auburn player.
Yeah.
And first of all, his energy and how that plays with the rest of the defense, and is the Auburn game more significant because he had a great career there?
Whenever we do play Auburn, this is Coach's 3rd year. He's telling it to us. Y'all don't take any different approach than what we do for the last week's game. This is just another game as well, and we don't more so look at it as, of course, us as the players, being that it's Travis Williams' home team, we want to have a little more edge to it, but he tells us constantly, hey, this is just another game. We're going to prepare for it like any other person, man, and playing behind Coach Travis Williams, I love it, man. It's amazing. He's a family man. Our whole defensive staff are just family guys, man. And the way that we approach every game, just behind Coach Travis Williams, it's just with passion. With him, his pregame speeches, man, they have you ready to run through a brick wall, man. And at the same time, he can be serious and come back with a nice, cool little rap, man. So, yeah, Travis Williams, he's a one-of-a-kind guy, man, and I love him, and I'm glad he's my defensive coordinator.
You have obviously had teammates growing up, but you said you always wanted to leave the state and go see somewhere else. Did you have many teammates like that as kids that wanted to do the same thing, or were you different?
Man, most likely not. All my teammates, they wanted to go to UGA or stay in the city. I've been here all my life. I wanted to go out and experience things of my own and meet different people and be in different situations, be in uncomfortable situations, because that's going to help me achieve my goals in life, after football, and better become a man. So that was my whole purpose and my main focus of going 10 hours away, from my home city. And that's what I feel like I did. God has a plan for everything, and I feel like that was his plan for me to go 10 hours away.
So if you were drafted by an NFL team way away from here, you'd have no problem with that either?
I mean, it's going to be an adjustment at first, just like anything, but I'm pretty sure, I'll get once I get my feet under me, we're just going to keep our hair down and just keep working wherever it's at, God willing, if I do make it to the NFL.
We'll go back here on the left-hand side. Nothing? Any particular rival stadium you like to play in?
Stadiums I like playing in. So LSU, I know we play in Baton Rouge, this season. I'm excited, man. Their fans are always wow, man. It's always loud there. I'm excited to play there, man. Never played in Austin, Texas, against the Longhorns. That's a rivalry game for the state of Arkansas. I'm excited to play there. Never played at Neyland Stadium. I'm excited to play there as well, man. I'm excited for this whole season. This is my last season, and I want to leave my mark. Being a vocal leader and being a dominant football player.
We have two more questions, one here and then one in the back.
How would you describe your team's culture this year and how it may affect the outcome of the season?
I can say, with this being my 5th year, that this is the closest that the team has ever been. It's just the accountability is different. We hold ourselves to a higher standard, and I feel like we all got the same goal, and we just want to win. Like, we're not thinking ahead to postseason. We're not thinking about, self-accolades. We're all just trying to win and make each other better. And when fall camp start, it's going to be a really competitive and physical fall camp, and I'm excited for it.
Final question in the back.
What has been your most memorable moment and experience that you've had with your teammates at your time at Arkansas so far?
Probably, I'm a big chef, man. I love cooking. I got that from my dad. I got my own business, if y'all ain't heard of it, man. Balls Barbecue, you know what I'm saying? Hey, do your research if you haven't, because it's gonna be jumping pretty soon now. But I specialize in ribs, chicken, all that, man. My girlfriend, she do the sides with the baked beans, mac and cheese. Shout out to Cassidy. But that's probably one of my biggest experiences, and just having my teammates over and selling plates, to my teammates and people in Fayetteville in general. Just doing that, man. I'm so grateful to be a Hog, man. God has blessed me to be there for 5 years, to meet so many people and have an impact in so many people's lives, man. And I'm just being in Arkansas in general, man. It's just a blessing, and I'm overall grateful for my experience to be a Hog.
You're going to keep your business in Arkansas when you're done?
Probably, I don't know. Arkansas is a lot of barbecue spots there. I mean, I'm not worried about competition, but I just gotta, be smart about where my business is at. But wherever I am, Balls Barbecue, that's where it'll go. I talked to Coach Pittman about going in business with me. He reminded me again about how he wanted to invest in it. So I'm gonna hold him to it now. So if anybody in this room, remember, if you see Balls Barbecue, Sam Pittman, he helped me. So there you go.
Try to get on True South. That'll help.
Man, I really love Barbecue Pitmaster. That's my show.
Xavien Sorey, and I'm happy to be here. And let's get it going.
We're going to go up here on the right side to start with.
Xavien, Harrison Reno with UJSports.com. I know downstairs we talked about your time at Georgia. Obviously, you said the biggest thing you learned was winning. I guess from a player perspective, you played on some talented defenses. What teammate left the biggest impact on you as a player?
For both schools I've been at, I would say Landon Jackson. Landon, and just seeing what he was able to do last season, and the type player he is, the type person he is, it definitely left a big impact on me. So, yep.
Go on the left side.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. We've had a couple of your teammates in here already. They had nice things to say about Coach Travis Williams, and they cited the energy that he brings every single day. What's it like playing for him?
It's fun. It's very fun. It's a lot of energy, and you know what I mean. He's just one of those guys where his switch is always on, no matter what. Coach T. Will is gonna be Coach T. Will, and he's gonna have his players ready to play no matter what. So.
Right here in the middle.
Yeah, obviously, with him being the returning starting quarterback, there's a lot of pressure on Taylen to be the leader for the team. From your perspective, what has he been doing well as a leader?
Just taking it day by day and putting one foot in front of the other and not looking too far ahead. I think that's one of the biggest things with Taylen is that he's a humble guy, real humble, and I know he's not gonna look too far ahead, and he's gonna do all the right things that he has to do to become the player that he want to become and to help the program out.
And just like within the locker room, what is it kind of a good leader look like?
In the locker room, just being a good teammate, being very helpful to the younger team, the younger players in the locker room, and things like that. And I just say being very helpful. And you don't always have to be vocal or anything, as long as you're doing the right thing and I think you're a good teammate if you're doing the right thing.
Left side.
One of your teammates that was already in here was Cameron Ball. What can you say about playing with him and what he brings to the table?
Oh yeah, Cam, man, that's my guy, and I got a lot of respect for Cam. Just y'all know Cam been part of Arkansas for 5 years, never transferred, and he committed to Arkansas out of high school, and he's still committed to this day. And I got a lot of respect. I'm very excited for Cam and what he's finna do this season, and I can't wait. I'm itching to get out there on the field with Cam and just start having fun again, and just playing football.
Right side.
Xavien, can you talk us through what it's like to play for Coach Pittman? Obviously, a guy that has ties to the former school like you do as well. What's it been like to play for him so far?
It's been good, man, to play for Coach Pitt. Coach Pitt got a lot of energy too. I don't know if y'all know that, but Coach Pitt, he got a lot of energy, and he know how to get his players going, up and going. And I got a lot of respect for Coach Pitt as well. And I'm excited for him. And as far as the team, like we want to play for Coach Pitt. Like we happy with we happy with our coach, and we want to fight for our coach. That's one of the biggest things. Go out there fighting for our coach, and we feel like if anybody disrespect Coach Pitt, they disrespecting us, and they ultimately is. So that's our coach.
Middle section, back row.
Hi. So what was your moment, whether when you were little or coming into end of your high school career, where you realized this is what I want to do when I go to college? I want to play at the highest level. Did you have that breakthrough moment?
Since middle school, I always knew I wanted to play in the SEC. I used to like schools like Florida. I'm a Florida boy, so schools like Florida, that's the only SEC school in the state of Florida. So of course I went for them very hard, and I always dreamed of playing there. And all my family went for Florida or either Florida State, so things like that. And football is big in my family. Like football season come on. Whether it's the Super Bowl or national championship or whatever, we all somewhere, somebody in our family is cooking, grilling, and got TVs everywhere, and we enjoying ourselves watching the game. So it's definitely a big deal for me to play at the highest level of football.
Right side.
Xavien, kind of going back to high school, can you talk about the nickname The Barber? Where did that come from? I haven't heard it used in a little bit. Hopefully, I assume it's still being used. Can you take us through the story of that?
So I used to cut hair in high school. I was just telling the last interview that I did, it was you a barber? I said, I know how to cut hair, but I do not like cutting hair. That's not my thing. I don't like cutting, but I kind of got that name. I played basketball, and before the basketball games, kind of used to cut all my teammates and the players in there before the game, get them fresh. So that's where I got the barber name from.
So if teammates come to you and they want a free haircut, you're not going to give it to them?
I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think long and hard about it.
You got another nickname, Slide, and I don't know where that comes from.
Man, that came from Pee-wee football when I was 6 or 7. A couple of my teammates, I honestly don't know where they got it from. And once, after Pee-wee, middle school, they kept calling me Slide, and all throughout high school, they called me Slide. So, I kind of took it too. You know what, I actually like it. So, and I ran track as well. I won state in track. So that was one of the biggest things that, I think that's where that name started, actually. I take that back, from track and field.
What'd you win state in?
It was triple jump.
Okay.
It was triple jump.
Yeah. So you've been at 2 different schools, of course. What's been things that, if you were explaining to somebody, this is what makes Arkansas different, just based on your experiences, what is it?
I don't really like to compare any schools, but Arkansas is just once you go to Arkansas and you just see for yourself, you just got to go see for yourself. It's not a place that you can just look up or try to Google pictures of to see if you'll like it. You got to actually go to the state of Arkansas and go see it for yourself. The people there is unbelievable, nice people, and the fan base is a strong fan base, and yeah, it's a great place.
Left side.
You're up there representing the linebacker group. What can you say about what else Arkansas will have at the position this season? And is there anyone in particular who's really impressed you with the work they've put in this offseason?
Really, the whole room is working. The whole room is working. And what was your second? What was just?
Just tell us about the rest of the room, and if there's someone in particular who's impressed you.
Oh yeah, we got guys like Tavion Wallace, Trent, Drew. Trent and Drew both just got with us after spring, but those guys, Trent is like, he's a good football player, very, very, very smart, and played a lot of football. Drew, he's a smart player too, and very athletic, and definitely gonna be able to help us. And then players like Tavion and I'm trying to think of some more. Wyatt Simmons, like players like them, like they working, man. They working, and how can I say it? They are giving themselves the opportunity to play. And then Coach T will preach in our room a lot. Like, we do not have starters, we have standards. So when Trent and all those guys came, Drew, like he went in front of the room and said, like, straight up, like, don't come here and look at, the guys that played last year started and think like you can't play over them. Like, go take their spot. So, and that's kind of our mentality in the linebacker room. We working, and it's competition. It's definitely competition.
Over here on the right.
Xavien, I think every coach who's been through here has been asked about the revenue sharing, NIL. I want your perspective on that, on the portal. What would you say are some misconceptions in terms of the negative connotations that kind of come with that? And if you have any personal stories about how it's positively affected you, could you please share that as well?
So when I first enrolled in college, NIL wasn't a thing. So I kind of seen it before, and now, of course, now NIL is a thing. And some days I love it, and some days I hate it. Honestly, some days I love it, some days I hate it. So.
Final question here in the middle.
You talked about playing other sports like basketball and track. How did that shape your athletic journey? And do you still do some of play other sports with your teammates and stuff in the free time that you have?
Yeah. So just being able to be versatile and do things like blitz and things like that. Sometimes I may use a basketball move on a guard, or give them a little head fake, a little jab, a little crossover, or something like that. So it definitely helped me be versatile, playing multiple sports. And what was your second question? I'm sorry.
Do you do that in your free time too with your friends? Do you guys go pick up basketball just for fun?
If anything, we'll shoot. We'll shoot around, maybe 3-point shootouts. But I haven't played actual basketball or a game in some years. So it's been some years since I actually played a game of basketball.